Okay. Hey, hi. How's it going? Oh, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. Go get whatever craft you're working on if you haven't already. And let's do some cross stitch. So this is going to be part 3 of this particular project. The one I'm working on is an alien abduction cross stitch, which you can basically tell at this point. That's pretty cool. At least I think it's cool. And then get yourself comfy, get your drink. Try not to do what I did in my last video and play with the microphone so many times so you get lots of noise from it. Whoops, sorry about that. I am getting better though. Have you noticed that? I'm very proud. Like I said, get your drink, get your pattern, get your craft, whatever it may be. And let's do some stuff. Yeah, so yeah, so I am not talking about anything that's going on in the world right now because we'll just stick with because it's probably a good. Where the heck is my needle? There we go. A good thing to avoid. Okay. Hopefully it'll stay. Hopefully it works. No, it's still whatever. Yeah. I am recording this on a Friday afternoon. I am trying to keep it kind of, I guess, vague just because I'm definitely trying to be a little bit ahead so that I can ideally post once a week. That was weird. Whatever. Ideally. I don't know that I'll be able to maintain that forever. Excuse me. But I'm going to try. And I'll probably do some shorter. Some shorter videos to like intersperse in between the longer project videos. Just keep a little variety. I'm gonna do one after this of my fabric stash. I went upstairs. As you can see, I still haven't learned how to multitask, talk and stitch at the same time. Oh my god, I can't see where the okay, there it is. Alright, anyway, I went upstairs and raided the other craft room. Well, the actual craft room. This is my office. I'm just using it to craft in. But the real craft room is upstairs. It's like where I have a cutting mat. And we both have an absolute shitload of patterns for clothes and various other things. And a bunch of supplies. So I went up there and raided for a bunch of fabric, some of which is mine and some of which is mom's. But it's all mine now. To add to my stash to hopefully start using soon for dolly clothes. Maybe if I talk about it enough, I'll actually do it. Because I'll feel like I need to do it because I've been saying, hey guys, I'm going to make doll clothes. So, we'll see. But I thought I'd do like I guess it's kind of a haul video. like the craft book one, except it's not anything I haven't, except it's a fabric stash. I could probably also do a yarn stash one. I could show you the two the two tote box storage container thingies of yarn that are next to me, but then the camera would probably never be even again. I would be bothered, so maybe at the end or some other time I'll do a yarn stash. I could also do with getting rid of some, so like I could do a de-stash, like pass yarn along to other people who might actually use it at some point. Not that I don't plan on using it, because I really do. But yeah, so what's new with you guys? What's the tea? What's the hot goss? Tell me everything. Feel free to tell me what you're working on. Tell me what you're looking forward to. I think it's good to have things to look forward to, especially when you live in a dystopia that's quickly going to hell. So I'm looking forward to BTS because I got BTS tickets. I'm looking forward to going to New York in April for the New York City Doll Con, which should be fun. I'm looking forward to going to bed tonight. I'm looking forward to finishing this project and starting on my next one. That's another video I could do. I could also do, and probably will do, a cross stitch patterns video, because I have a lot of cross stitch patterns, probably more than I could reasonably complete in my lifetime, but I'm gonna try. So I did also just the other day order a new kit of cross stitch from the Starlight Stitchery. I like them. I've bought from them several times. I also got some new needles and a new needle threader, which is good because I can do it. I've managed so far to thread this needle at least 3 times without a needle threader. But let me tell you, I don't like it. It's much easier to just use the needle threader. So, once that arrives, I will, maybe I'll do a cross stitch patterns. I also have a bunch of patterns for, I can do, and I have some fabric too. Some Aida, and then some linen, which I've never cross stitched on linen. And I've heard, conflicting reports. That it's once you start going to linen, once you go linen, you never go back. But also, it's more difficult than this stuff. So we'll see. Sorry. But I bought a little easy learn how to learn how to stitch on linen book. Just like a little, like the kind you get from the craft store sometimes. It's like just real thin. It's probably from the 80s. It looks like it's from the maybe late 80s, early 90s. I'd give it. So maybe I'll make that my next series once I finish this, is do a cute little, it'll probably be like doily and frilly and very frou-frou and not at all like an alien abduction. But maybe I'll do that next, and you can watch along as I learn how to cross stitch on linen, because I have some really cool patterns that are meant to be done on linen. You probably can do them on Aida, but I would like to give it a try, so I'm gonna. So, but those will probably be shorter. I'm not going to spend 30 minutes doing on haul videos, which I guess they are. I'm definitely going to tag them as hauls because I know that hauls get views. And I would like to eventually get a little bit of AdSense money, I guess. But so speaking of news, and it's certainly not hot goss or anything, but I got a sort of kind of second job. Like, I guess I'm going to call it a second job because it is work. So once again, just because Liz knows what good financial decisions are does not mean she makes them. And I fully admit to this. So the credit cards, yeah, so the credit cards. So I got well, I was like, first I was like, okay, I'd be willing to do like Grubhub driving. I don't know, it seems like I don't want to say the least shady of like the gig driver type jobs, but it seemed alright. So I was like, okay, I'll try that. Waitlisted immediately. So I Googled it. It's like, oh, how long's the wait list for Grubhub? And they're like, a couple weeks, couple months, couple years. I was like, well, okay then, let me look elsewhere. So I did like Shipped, and then I did Instacart, and then I did a whole bunch of others, like 4 or 5 others, several of which are like not companies I feel very good about myself for working for, but like I need to make a few $100 extra a month. I need I need to be putting more money on my credit cards than I can currently based on my income. So yeah. So anyway, Uber Eats accepted me. And yeah. I passed, the background check because all of my many terrible crimes are under alternate identities, of course. So I passed the background check, and I added the rideshare supplement insurance to my car insurance, so I can make sure that like I have enough insurance on my car for doing this, and that doesn't take effect until tomorrow morning. Well, tonight at midnight, or like 12 to 1 or something. So it's Friday afternoon, and I obviously can't start today. But I guess I'll start tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it will. Probably I would imagine they're pretty much all the same, And it's just like any other job where, when you start out, it's like, oh, yay. Like when I started working at Starbucks, I was like, wow, this is great. And then by the end, I was like, I hope this company falls into the ocean. So it'll probably be, about the same. God knows I've done enough like retail and customer service in my life that like I know what I'm getting into. Now I'm just getting into it with the possibility of tips. And like I said, I've got a full-time job, so I'm not, and my full-time job does pay the bills. So this is just so I can put more money than I am currently on my credit cards to try and get ahead and pay down that debt. Because yeah, poor financial decisions. So I'm sure I'll have that to complain about too. Sorry. But yeah, so I can't believe it's almost February already. Well, when I post this, it will be February. I can't believe it's February already. Whew. January was simultaneously like 2 minutes long and like 6 years long. So yeah. I don't really have a whole lot else to talk about today. Yeah, I talked about I need to trying to pay down the credit cards, pay off the credit cards, and so I got the gig job. I didn't want to get I didn't want to go back to retail because I'm too old for that shit. And I wanted to do, I guess, specifically this just because I don't have to worry about trying to get a manager doing schedules to understand that I have a full-time job and that full-time job is my priority. So no, Bob, I can't work Monday mornings because I have my real job. And no, I can't work overnights because, again, so I wanted something where I work when I want to work and I work when I can work. So, you know, some evenings and some weekends, and when I've got something else going on, I can do that instead and that sort of thing. So I thought this would hopefully work, and I've got it set up to, pay me into the bank account I don't use as much and it's harder to get to. And then I figure I'll just put a straight 25% of whatever. I gotta look up the whole thing about tips though. But to start at least, I'm just gonna put a straight 25% of whatever I earn in a savings account. And then I'll try and figure out how to pay taxes quarterly on it because I would much rather do that than have to pay it all out next January when I do my taxes. I did my taxes for last year today. They are generally pretty easy, so I don't have to worry. They don't take me very long. But yeah, that tax return, which is not awful. It's something anyway. Gonna put it straight on the credit card. And I also went to, I don't remember if I talked about this before, but I'm trying to use cash for, normal everyday weekly, I need lunch, let me go buy lunch because I don't want to eat whatever I brought to work today type stuff. So that way I'm only using, the one credit card for gas. So that'll be easier to keep track of that. And I guess there's probably a lot more to the whole Uber Eats thing than I'm thinking of right now, but I'll figure it out. I am generally I'm kind of smart, so I should do okay. So yeah, hopefully I'll have positive things to share about that. I mean, positive positive things to share about me making more money and paying off my credit cards at some point in the probably far too distant future. And hopefully not doing this again. I was doing really well. And then I accidentally rear-ended a lady on the way to work last September. And I mean, accidentally, but it was my fault. I was following a little too close. It was, yeah, so it's not, whatever. But, her car had like a tiny dent and maybe a paint chip off of her bumper. My car was totaled. Now, granted, my car was an almost 18-year-old Toyota Corolla, so it's not real surprising it got totaled. So I had to get a new car. So now I have a car payment again, which, God, having a car payment is the worst. So, and I did not force myself to amend my shopping habits. So, credit cards got out of control, and then the credit cards got more out of control. And doom shopping, I think, is a thing. Certainly a thing I've been doing. So, anyway, let me stop talking about money and depressing stuff. What else is there to talk about? Money and depressing stuff. So yeah, I'll do a couple of haul videos to like intersperse with these. I am doing pretty good with this. I'm maybe a quarter of the way through, so maybe I'll do like a couple of longer ones where it's just like I don't talk and I just put like, I don't know, random music over and just sit and stitch for like an hour, and it's like a not ASMR, but like hopefully soothing type of video that you can join me in working on your projects for a while and just kind of zone out and whatnot, just to try and work on this more. I'm going up to a friend's next Friday for, we usually call them crafternoons, but it's going to be an evening. So also, hi Carrie, love you. But it's in the evening, so I guess craft evening. I don't know, whatever. So we'll hang out for a while, and I'll work on this, and we'll yak and all that good stuff. And then I've got my normal monthly craft castle date with Shannon. Hi Shannon, love you. I think that's the 21st. It's not. It's like whatever. It's in my calendar, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. Don't worry, I will be there. Also, hi Craig, if you ever happen to see these. So yeah, good things to look forward to that are not just not. Yeah. And that's February. March is my youngest brother's birthday. I think they're going to Key West. I am not going to Key West because I do not have the money to go to Key West. Although I do enjoy Key West. It's a lot of fun down there. And I may more or less hate all citrus fruits ever, but damn, do I love key lime pie. Yeah, I would like to go back to Key West sometime. I had a good time down there. I went to my first drag show in Key West. It was a lot of fun. The drag queen was fantastic. Or the MC, I guess she was. There were several drag queens. But yeah, so I've got the BTS concert in August, both nights. Go me. And I've got the DollCon in April, and really that's all I'm planning on doing this year. Because I really gotta, cut back on the spending and pay down the credit cards. And so yeah, and we're planning to go to Greece next year, so I gotta start saving for that somehow. I would like to do something for my birthday this year because it's a big round number. Oh God, excuse me. I'm so sorry. My stomach hates me. But I don't know, probably like a bonfire type thing, and I'll just like hang out and eat and have cake, and it'll be great. But yeah, I really want to travel more. I really love traveling. Even though I keep getting food poisoning when I travel internationally. Well, not every time, but it's happened twice. So, um, so yeah, I gotta pay off the debt if I'm gonna be able to travel and buy dumb stuff when I'm in other countries because I like doing that. So yeah. This is I filled in. Hang on. I'm blind, so I don't know if you can see, but I filled in around the little spaceship up top here, and I did this whole line. Again, my super blood sugar is still really high. So can I, speaking of things to complain about, I do not recommend being a type 1 diabetic. It sucks. Don't do it. That said, my sensor is on its last day, and it's fritzing out because it's not guaranteed for the full 10 days that it's supposed to last. It's like guaranteed for like most of that, which is it's an amazing piece of technology, but it's really annoying when it keeps fritzing out on the last day. So I don't know what my blood sugar is. So I have to test my blood sugar a whole bunch of times, and then I test it once, and it's like over 300, and I'm like, oh shit, better give myself a bunch of insulin, even though I have covered for everything I've eaten today. And then I test again because it has not told me what my blood sugar is in like an hour and a half. And oh look, it's over 400 now. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, don't do it, guys. Just 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. It sucks. Yeah. So, but it's better than it was. It's back under 400 at least. So I'm keeping an eye on it. I changed the pump site, so it should be a better one now. I think that was the issue. That's why it went up so high. Just every now and again, I hit a bad spot, because I've been wearing an insulin pump for like 24 years. Oh, hey, actually, my anniversary was last week. It's January 23rd. So yeah, I've been wearing an insulin pump for most of that. So, if you end up with scar tissue, so such is life. Anyway, what a fun note to end on. I hope you're having a better day than I am with my stupid blood sugar. Although it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. And I hope you enjoyed crafting with me today. And I would love it if you would like and subscribe and hit the little notification thingy so that when I post these, you get them. And leave me a comment, show me what you're working on, tell me what you're working on. Commiserate with me about being a diabetic if you happen to be one. I don't need sympathy if you're not one. I just needed to complain for a minute. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. Bye.